The anatomy of a levy wand, I wanted to show you kind of the different types of string tricks I've been sort of experimenting with and what I've been calling them up to this point. The first one I am calling kind of a static string tricks. This is because your levy wand is largely static. It remains, for the most part, straight up and down, and it goes wherever your string goes, with the exception of maybe doing some of these like teeter-totter type things that don't really show up very well on the video, and I'm having the wind fight me, but kind of like that sort of thing. String trick that I'm going to introduce is what I'm calling a dynamic string trick. Dynamic string tricks are a little bit different in static string tricks in that the wand is kind of sitting as a pendulum, as it would if you, say, had a leash or a handle instead of a cat's cradle up above. And the wand itself will basically spin around you like so. And you can basically control it that way. The next trick, string trick type I have found is what I am calling contact or on the body string tricks, and that is where you're essentially using your body as a frame itself for the string. For example, this star here, whatever fancy anchors, shibari, anything like that would also fall into this category. Now that you've been patient while I've done all the nerd stuff, I'm going to show you the first trick I ever learned. The first string trick I've ever learned for levy wand. Please disregard the extra string length here, as I've just kind of been experimenting with different lengths. And this is the best colored string to teach with. So the first thing we're going to do is I'm going to show you a static cat's cradle, which starts out a lot like a regular cat's cradle. You have your string between your pinky finger and over on this side, and on between your pointer finger and thumb on this side. And you're going to do the same with the other hand. Then you're going to take your middle fingers here, you're going to thread one up and through, the other up and through, and then you're going to just take your hands and try to stretch them as far apart as you can to get that cat's cradle going. And there you have a static cat. If you're wanting to do a dynamic cat's cradle, you're going to need a little bit more string. And what you're going to do is you're going to take your hand, you're going to place it through the string like so, grab these two strings together, pull them through, creating your slip knot. You are now going to take your slip knot, do exactly what you did the first time. Try to keep that slip knot in the middle if you can. That's going to make sure your wand is centered when you finish your trick. But essentially you're just going to do the same thing, cat's cradle, and then you can stand up and see how this wand pendulums down here at the bottom, and we can do some dynamic cat's cradle wand tricks. And that is the very first string trick that I learned how to do on levy wand in both a static and dynamic variation. And that is going to be all for today. But I hope you enjoyed this video.